to Miss Crafts Lair. I'm Barbie, and today I am here to show you how to do the chain in crochet. Now, real fast, the chain is kind of the base, so to speak, of anything that you are going to do with crochet. Disclaimer at this part of your crocheting. There are different ways of doing the base stitches, but that's going to be coming later, and that's actually, I'm putting that actually after the gauge, because it is a little bit tricky sometimes for newbies to get it. So I'm just putting it behind the gauge. So that's my disclaimer on that. So if you are new to crochet, the chain is the base of whatever you are going to be making in your crochet. So in written form, it looks like this. If you are working on a charted pattern, which is all these cutesy little signs and symbols, it's going to look like this. So written, this, charted, this. And now that we have that out of the way, because I am also going to be teaching you how to read patterns as we are going along this. So in a written pattern, you're going to see what you're going to be working on, and then you are going to see chain this much. So chain 75. That means chaining 75 chains in succession to make the base of your project. So for this and all other tutorials, I am going to be using my ergonomic boy hook size H. And I'm also going to be using an acrylic yarn. This is actually Red Heart yarn in light blue. So first step is to make a slip knot. So without your hook, just using your fingers, I'm going to show you two different ways to make your slip knot. So with just using your fingers, you're going to wrap your yarn around your fingers as such. Go under, grab your yarn, and pull it. I'll show that again. So wrap around your two fingers. And I usually don't just use my fingers, so that's why this is kind of looking a little on the awkward side. So you're going to wrap around your two fingers, put it towards the back, and I hold with these two fingers, pinky and ring, and then you're going to catch this yarn, pull it through, and there. And of course it's a slip knot, because if you pull on either side, it's going to go bye-bye. So as far as the hook goes, there's two different ways, hook wise to do this. You can do the same over the finger and through and pull it, and there's your slip knot. And all you're going to have to do is kind of tighten it up around your hook. The way I generally do it is I put my yarn as such, so it's over the hook and being held by my thumb. Now cross this one over the tailed yarn, so the tail and working yarn. So you're going to put the tail over the working yarn, and then yarn over which is going to be another abbreviation we're going to learn. Yarn over and pull it through. And there you have your slip knot. So if I'm going kind of fast and you need to, feel free to rewind, watch again, pause anywhere in these tutorials, so then that way you can get where you need to be. All right, so I'm going to show you that one more time. So yarn tail towards you, pin to the hook with your thumb, yarn tail over working yarn. So the working yarn is the yarn that's being pulled from your skein. Yarn over and pull that through. And that is the beginning of your chain. Actually, technically, the beginning of your chaining. It is not a chain, but it is yet. But it's getting there. I will really quick point out that the yarn over, it looks like this in written. There is no charting especially for a yarn over. So if you're going to see yarn over in a pattern, it is going to be YO in your pattern. You might see that written, and where you will see that written is if you are looking at the written directions as to how to make these stitches. So you're going to yarn over and draw through, and that is how you do your chain. So it is a bunch of yarning over and drawing through. Yarn over, pull through. Let me get this down just a little bit closer here so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Yarn over your hook, pull it through. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. So far now I have one. So you can, if you look at this and you count the bumps, you are going to count how many stitches or how many chains you have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 chains made. So if you are seeing chain 6, we are good. If it says chain more than that, you need to keep on going. You can be chaining as little as 1 or 2, and you could be having to chain, for your project, you might end up having to chain as many as 200, 300 chains, which is why I have in my arsenal of toys stitch markers. So say that you wanted to mark out every 5 stitches, chains, so that way you can keep track of how many chains you have so far. So you have 1 bump, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches for your chain, and you're just going to go ahead and slip this right in there and lock it, and now that is going to stay put until you take it out. I actually prefer these particular stitch markers. There's other stitch markers that are made that I don't. I used to really like, and then I tried these and I'm like, I love these. So again, with the chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Now, troubleshooting for you is if your hook comes out, you are going to want to make sure that you are putting your hook back in the right way. Because if you put it in the wrong way, let me show you this. and you start chaining, your chain is going to look like this. And that's going to get pretty janky and hard to find. And it kind of looks like a little pretzel right there in between my fingernails. So whenever you should happen to, your hook falls out while you're doing the chain, because if you, at the beginning, your hook very well might come out of your chain. You're going to want to look to see what side is the bump. And you're going to want to put your hook back into your chain, that last loop, so it is heading towards the yarn you're working with. And then that way, when you continue your yarning over and you're pulling through, it's all going to be in line, and it's not going to get that jankiness and that kind of twisted, that twist going on. Because when you're going back to work back past with your other stitches in your subsequent rows, that's going to be really hard to find where you're supposed to be, and at the end of your work, you're going to notice it. That is the beginning chain, how you start your crocheting out. The next one that I'm going to be tackling is the single crochet, coming up next. Like I said, there's going to be lots more, so if you're still learning how to crochet, be sure to subscribe. Make sure that you're subscribed so you can catch all these other ones that I'm going to be bringing out. And I hope that this was super helpful for you. Also, if you have any crochet questions, be sure to drop those in the comments, and I will be doing a question and answer at the end of this series of basic stitches, so then that way we can get you all set up and ready to go, and so then you can get creating fun stuff as well. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Bye for now.